Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our lesson today. Before we start, let's look at this picture. So, can you see the people in here, right? We have scientist, doctor, police, chef, and a lot. So, can you give me one keyword to describe this picture? Good. Yes. Jobs. So, this picture shows many different jobs that people do. And today we are going to learn more about dream jobs. So, now let's look at this picture. What can you see here? Yes, a person wearing black clothes and smiling. So people wear clothes like this when they finish high school or university. And at this moment, we say that they graduate. So the first vocabulary word is graduate. Now repeat, graduate. Great. Now please pay attention to pronunciation. The stress is on the first syllable, graduate. So graduate means to finish high school or university. And I have one example here. She graduated from university in 2015, and the event when you officially finish high school or university and receive a degree is called graduation. Graduation. So it is the noun form of the word graduate. Now I have one more question to check your understanding. So if you are in grade 10, can we say that you have graduated from high school? Of course not, because you just graduate after grade 12 when you finish your high school. That's right. Now let's move to the next word.
Okay, so now let's move on to our next two words. When you want to work for a company, you will give them your CV, right? So, by giving the company your CV, you have applied for a job there. And the new word today is apply. Apply is a verb. It means to ask for something officially, usually by filling out a form. I have an example. He applied for his dream job last month, but he failed. A person who applies for something is called an applicant, and the act of applying for something is application. Okay, now I have a question for you. How will you feel when you don't get a job you applied for? You can feel disappointed, sad, or maybe even angry, right? Great job. Now let's move on to our next word. Look at this picture over here. The company needs a new manager, but all three people want to have that job. They have to fight with each other, or I can say they have to compete against each other for the job. And the new word is compete. Compete is a verb. It means to do an activity with others and try to do better than they do. I also have an example. She competed against many people to become the new manager. A person who competes is a competitor, and the act of competing is competition. Let's move on to a question. What jobs do you think people have to compete against others a lot to have? I have some examples. It can be a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher, right? Well done. Now let's continue with the remaining words.
All right, class, we are going to discover together about the next vocabulary. There are two pictures here that I want to show you. In the first picture, there is a woman who has to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But in the next picture, there is a man. He doesn't have to do this. So I call this is flexible. Now, class, flexible. Very good. Flexible is an adjective. It means to be able to change or be changed easily. For example, he has flexible working hours, so he can start working whenever he wants. All right, class. If a company lets the workers choose their working time, it is flexible? Exactly. Yes, it is. Okay, move to the next picture. There is a man here. He is editing this video by adding some tags. So I call he is a theme tagger. Now class, theme tagger. Very good. Theme tagger is a noun. It is a person who adds the keywords or tags to the movies. For example, a theme tagger has to watch movies and use suitable tags to describe them. Okay, class. So do theme taggers make or create a film? Very good. No, they don't, because they just add the tags. Okay, let's move to the next new words.
Alright, look at the picture. You can see that they are producing cars using many machines. Or we can say that they manufacture cars. So we have the new word, manufacture. Now, repeat after me. Manufacture. Manufacture. Really good. So, manufacture is a verb that means to make goods in large quantities using machines. And I have an example here. This factory manufactures toys and sends them to many shops in the city. So the people or the company that manufacture products are called manufacturers. So I have a question. Do we manufacture a sandwich at home? No, we don't because we make it at home by hands, right? So now move on to the next word. Look at this picture. What can you see here? We can see a large board with pictures of drink on it, right? So this is used for introducing products and attracting customers. So what is it? This is an advertisement. Now repeat after me. Advertisement. Advertisement. Really good. So I have an example here. This company runs advertisements for new drinks. So I have a question for you. Where can you see advertisement? So now just write it down in your notebook and I will check it later.
Alright, class. So now let's move on to our last vocabulary of today. So before we start, looking at the picture, what are they doing? That's right, they are preparing some film reels and discs to send to cinema or business. So we call that job film provider. Film provider. So film provider is a company that gives or sells movies for people or business to use. I have an example on the slide. The film provider sends movies to cinemas so they can show them to the audience. I have some questions to check your understand. So is film provider a person or a company? Yes, that's right. Film provider is a company that sells or sends films to cinemas or business. Second, does film provider make films? The answer is no. Film provider do not make film, right? They just prepare, deliver, and sell films to business and cinema. So before we end our class, let's have a quick review of all the vocabs we have learned today. So class, this is the end of our class today. Thank you for listening and remember to review all the vocabularies, okay? Goodbye, class!